Well, hello people, and welcome back to part 5 of Kokai, our modded Cities 2 build. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Lots of fun last time with the marina, and really love the view from the Hilltop Telecoms Tower. It's a real landmark for Sully, isn't it? And what I'd like to do today is introduce buses into the town, our first form of public transport. We're going to talk about where we're going to put them alongside building the bus depot itself, and I want to try and test out a little park and ride system right next to the highway, where we'll also bring in some more commercial as well. Very American style highway exit, and I think that's where we'll start the episode today. So by our little jug handle interchange we set up a couple of episodes ago, I think this is going to be a perfect place for what I want to build here. So first, just clear out some room up against the river. Don't want to delete the whole tree line because I would like it to maintain. And it's likely we'll send some roads down this side of the area over here today as well. So I think with this infrastructure here, I'm actually just going to knock everything back a little bit because I'd just like to give a touch more breathing room to things coming off of the highway. So we're going to stick with our 3-lane asymmetrical. It's pretty nice, this one. And I want this to be coming straight down for a little bit. No road guideline here either, for at least for right now. And then kind of have it veer off that way. And then we'll split these roads off to connect into this general direction here with the roundabout. But first of all, we'll focus on getting our little kind of highway side rest stop set up, and also where the park and ride feature is going to sit too. So we'll probably use a medium road for this, I imagine. Now I want it to fill this space, so let's eye up our road to generally travel in this direction. And we'll go up to there for right now. So let's start exploring buses. First of all, of course, we need to place at the bus depot itself. Now, I think in terms of orientation, this is going to be a fantastic little highway side asset, isn't it? So, thankfully we can place away from roads now. So I reckon we just go for there. I think we'll be pretty happy with that, and it'll be a great little drive-by here too, coming down, just kind of seeing this off to the side of the highway. Very thematic, isn't it? I think I'll be happy with that. Now, of course, this thing does have a number of upgrades. We can give it electric buses. We don't really want to do that just yet. I know we can't afford the extra garage just yet, but we won't probably use all 10 buses today, I think, anyway. Cool. So, with that in mind, let's now add in that roundabout again. I think we'll go for very large with concrete, why this is a significant entrance into the city. And then let's just reconnect these roads back into that as well. Fabulous. And then we'll just amend some asymmetrical sections just to help improve traffic flow into that roundabout. That should do. And then we do have another entrance off here as well if we want to use it. Otherwise, that should do us for right now, I think. And we also just want to amend where the asymmetry flips here as well. Let's add in a temporary lane so we can then flip that one around into the junction. And now that all makes sense for us. Everyone's happy with that. So let's get our bus depot hooked in with a road so it at least has some form of power. And water, of course. That should keep everyone happy. So the first thing I'd like to sort out for our highway exit here is going to be a simple little gas station. So let's go into our FindIt filters. We will grab a commercial, and thankfully we can just search for gas, and let's do 6 by something. I think we'll do the 4x6 one. Now we could just have that, of course, on the road there, but I'd rather it be knocked back a little bit here. So let's pull that out, and then we'll grab ourselves a little alleyway road to, of course, to provide its connection. And then we'll just box that up for right now. Of course, we don't want tons and tons of traffic lights here, so just remove where appropriate. Make sure we're on relatively flat land here as well, near the interchange. So that's one part of a little high rest stop complete. Gas station's always a classic, isn't it? I wouldn't even mind doubling this up just to kind of increase its hypothetical capacity, if you like. So if we were to grab that one again, how kind of fusible are these assets? I know they do have some bits and bobs on the back that we can delete if we decide we don't want them. Yeah, I think I appreciate the aesthetic of kind of the double gas pumps, I think. I'll be on board with that. I'd also like one of these gas signs as well to kind of have right by the road. There's a number of them as well we can choose from. And which one do we like the most of? I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? That one? The one with the drop of petrol on it? Seems pretty cool. I feel like you'd want to see this right from the road, right? We're gonna have that there. I like that. And then secondary for our little highway exit here, I would like a bunch of motels and a little bit of commercial. So let's come into this again. Thankfully, the search functions are very forgiving in CS2's FindIt, so we can just go for motel. Now there's really quite a lot of choice here. So again, I think we'll maintain similar design. So we've left 2 tiles between the road there. So we'll do something similar around this side as well. And then let's grab a nice large motel. Something like that. Like quite a few of them as well. So there's also another one next door. And that's really what I want to see there, the parking straight outside the building for the rest stop there. I think I'm pretty happy with that. And then I wouldn't mind a little diner or something. So really any sort of commercial one. There is a unique signature building called the Streamline Diner, which I wouldn't mind hanging around here either. Just this one here, which I do like. I'd like to do a little bit more with this maybe. If we can, how far can we push it away before it becomes unhappy? Yeah, just set back from the road, I think a touch is alright. And then let's have our road come directly behind this, and then we've got room for a little bit of a custom car park in there if we want to do it a little later on, which I think we will do. Cool, and then let's throw in that custom car parking with our invisible road pathways, come off with Anarchy, and then we'll just have it go, I think straight behind there is going to be alright, is it? And then we just want to make sure we connect just on the angle in a finicky space like this. Let's make sure that those green lines connect in with the road. And then we can do some custom stuff around here with a little bit of texture, which I think will probably stick to this concrete stuff. So let's put that down now. Pretty sure it's concrete pavement surface number 1. Make sure to show markers, of course. Makes it a lot easier to draw in against those invisible networks if you're playing with them. Otherwise you kind of have to guess where they're going to be. Very nice. We can have that there. And then we'll chuck in some favourite trees. Get a couple of birches. And we'll just have these in around the car parking space. Cool. And this should already start looking pretty cool from the highway as well, which is going to be quite important for making this build look authentic, because that actually looks like a little kind of highway rest stop here with bus service eventually, which we'll get to in a second. Yeah, so a couple of motels, a little diner, gas as you come off the highway. Pretty classic stuff, isn't it? I'm enjoying that. Next up, let's grab ourselves that bus stop. So we should have it unlocked now, although we don't have enough money to place it. I did 100,000 for the small bus station. Jesus, expensive, isn't it? But I'm marking that at the start of our highway rest stop. Let's let some money build up now so we can place in the mini bus station here, and then we'll get buses flowing around the town. Wonderful. So we have let some money accumulate now up to nearly 400,000, which means we can now place down our bus terminal. So I mentioned at the start of the episode, I'd like this area to function as a little bit of a kind of park and ride facility as well for the rest of the city, for people getting off the highway, and maybe we can introduce that same process every time we come to a major highway exit, like we'll always have another one down here as well. So I think we'll work with this roundabout. Let's grab our double public transport lane for buses, because we only really want buses coming down here, of course. And then let's just draw this out 90 degrees. Are we happy with that? So let's place down our bus depot. It actually wants to be placed the other way, does it? Now, can we place it on the bus only roads? I'm actually not sure. We must be able to. Yeah, it looks like we can. I think we'll bring on some bus one-way roads to help people get up here. So let's say, for example, off of this one, it can come up. That will provide its connection. And what was the distance we actually came up there? It was 32 meters. So let's do that this way over here as well. It's 34 or 30, isn't it? We could turn off cell length, and then we could just have that one come down there. That allows our buses to turn around, and that means we only need to have this one as one directional. You also need your sewage pipes. This building doesn't seem to want to have its sewer attached, which is slightly annoying. I wonder in that case then if it's the bus only roads that won't allow for that. which, if that's the case, is very irritating, but we might be able to work around this. Yeah, so it is the road. It won't hook itself into sewage and water, which is quite annoying because I did want to use the bus-only roads here, but I guess we can still use them on regular roads instead. I think we'll give our buses a little bit more room to turn around here as well. Let's bring this up and connect it in there. And we can't add the bus road to the alleyway road, can we? Which is a little bit of a shame. Maybe we can do that with net lanes instead. If we were to come into our net lane stuff, yeah, we can grab public transport lane 3, and if we just did, I guess we can still use it. Not sure how realistic that's going to look, but as a proof of concept, it seems to work, doesn't it? So maybe we can do that in our daytime time lapse just to help reinforce the bus vibes, maybe. I guess we'll see. There's a lot of crime knocking about this highway rest stop. How are we doing for police coverage? Should be alright. Still should be cars left over here. Yeah, it's 3 and 6. It's not a budget issue either, is it? I think we brought our service budget for police and administration back to 100%. Yeah. Maybe it's taken a while to get out there, that's all. I have also just noticed as well that our garbage solutions now need a little bit of help too. So we have filled it up, so we can add a recycling unit which will process incoming waste and recycle what's possible. It will lower the ground pollution. We can also add a hazardous waste collection point too, which will allow waste to be processed at higher speeds. And then there's the garbage truck depot, which we don't need at the minute. Well, let's try throwing on one of these hazardous waste collection units. And we'll also do the recycling unit as well, I think. Now, does that actually empty out current stocks to be processed? Don't think it does it? In which case, then, we will also just extend our landfill district here a little bit as well. Eventually, we're going to have to move this very, very far away. But for right now, we will just extend those borders out. There we go. It gives it a little bit more tonnage. So hopefully that should keep on top of it. But maybe next episode, we need to look at perhaps a more industrial waterfront over here to factor in probably the recycling centre, which is 880 grand, which is a lot more than we have right now, but that's okay. Cool, so bus station is in. This gives us, what, 4 bus platforms, is that? So let's get our bus stops down. So first of all, we can place, we'll probably go for the shelter. So let's just sort of have a look at our current existing road network here. I absolutely want a park and ride system to run from people getting off the highway here. They can come all the way down. They can come to the beachfront, obviously quite a big attraction. Carry on down the arterial toward the marina, or looping back up to the park and ride area. And we can do a mirrored line on that too, so it can run clockwise and anti-clockwise. Let's get that established. So let's have our bus stops here. Now we're going to come down this road, so you may as well stop, let's say here by the path across to the farm. And then again, near the industrial area. You can stop right here by the beach where all the park and ride stuff is. Over again by the post office. Once again by the school, which I think we need to upgrade again as well because we need more capacity already for that. And then definitely by the waterfront here, so let's do it right there. And then it can stop this side by the school. And then there's no need for it to stop on this road, I don't think. That should be okay, then it can return back to the facility there. So let's get these lines moving around, and then we can complete that first route. Did notice here that the bus line is cutting on a road I don't really want it to. So I'm going to add a waypoint here, so just by clicking and dragging, we can tell the bus that it has to go down the arterial. So we will take that route there instead now. And for some reason, there's a little no pedestrian access one in there. Well, I don't care. That's fine. I don't know what that's about. That wasn't there before. And then the other bus route is going to simply run anti-clockwise to that one. So let's grab this bus before it comes out. Let's have a look at the line. And we'll call this the Sully Loop A. And we'll go for, I think Sully's logo is black and white, isn't it? So why don't we make the buses that serve the town of Sully black and white? That's one done. So that's going into the first platform. And then the next platform, we want to start from here. We'll run anti-clockwise to the way we just created. Fantastic, that's route complete. When our buses leave the depot, there they are. Let's click on them. Let's examine their line. And this will be Sully Loop B. And then we'll make that fully black. Another town of Sully, named after the wonderful, beautiful Welshman that is Sully, of course. Is black and white buses running around as well. This is the first time I've ever really used this bus stop before. Is that a nice one? And hopefully that's someone coming to use it, isn't it? It is indeed. That's what we'd love to see. But they'll take a little while to stagger out on the line. I really don't like that they're going back that way for that, and rather than go around the edge. Does that mean we actually want to have this as one-way road then? I think it does, which probably means I can actually remove the net lane then, doesn't it? And then make this section here also one-way. Wonder how many people were screaming that at the screen. Although, yeah, there we go. That's what I want. And then at this bottom road here, I don't want that left turn. There's no point in that. Let's also amend some of those crossings too. Let's just have that one, I think. There's no need for them to cross over this side of the road here. They can use the roundabout one for that. Or actually maybe take the roundabout crossing off and add it back to that one. Yeah, I think that's what we'll go for. Then there's plenty of things we can add around here too, isn't there? One of which actually might be a road maintenance depot. How are we doing for that? It's 7,500 a month, which isn't super expensive. We've still got quite a bit of leeway in the budget. So we could also include the road maintenance depot around here as well, which would be another good highway side asset here, but I think we'll wait and see. Now, of course, the other major feature of a park and ride service is car parking, which we don't have here. So I think if this is going to be the bus exit, people coming off the highway can turn down this road here. They can get onto Birch Street. And then I think we'll give them quite a bit of car parking, obviously. Now, obviously, I can't force them to use a park and ride feature. But hopefully the AI might pick it up. Because obviously there's no policy to force park and ride, which, speaking of, would be quite welcome, wouldn't it? So that's how we've got to use. There's obviously very large car parks, which I think are a little bit too much. There is the vanilla large. I would rather use one of these ploppable ones because we might be able to charge them to park here. So there's the long parking lots. We could place in a number of these. Obviously, I wouldn't mind having them all equidistant. So let's do something like that. And then I think we'll leave it at that. That seems pretty sensible, doesn't it, for a park and ride feature, I think. I don't really hate that. And then we'll give it a box off down there, and then that one, and then we can trim off that excess that we don't need there. Little bits of room for detail in here as well. And I wouldn't mind another little commercial bit here, just some shops while you wait for your bus, etc. Nothing major. Let's just search for some of our nicer commercial assets here. Yeah, just a little 4x something. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get a company move in here. And then lots of expandable space at the back here for detailing to make this nice and just detailed for a little bit of a sort of plaza space, right? I think we'll also downgrade our road here into alleyway as we head up toward that bus station. Give it connections where it would make sense. And I think I'll also connect it through there as well. That'll give us a bit more of an interesting shape to work in, maybe a bit more commercial around here perhaps. I wouldn't mind having some industrial, not in the sense of like manufacturing, but maybe storage here might be a little bit appropriate. Let's have a look what we've got if we search for industry. More after kind of these sort of little storage units to create perhaps a bit of a self-storage vibe rather than kind of full-blown industry, if that makes more sense. I don't think I'd be averse to that. We can definitely get away with a little pattern there, can't we, if we're going to use these little units here. So Maybe a little bit of self-storage might be quite nice. Yeah, I think we'll go with them. Have a little repeated pattern of industry in there, which is already companies moving into here. The police are obviously having a little bit of trouble reaching this part of the town, aren't they? Thinking we could do a little police station over here as well. That does kind of function as like a highway police. Something you see a lot in the UK, right off the motorways, is a little depot for the traffic officer people to kind of pull over. So if we're going to do that, I did mention I want to run a road alongside here. What's the terrain like here? Pretty gnarly. I think it's certainly going to make a sense for a road to come around this way, isn't it? So let's just get that in. Cool. So that gives us a road around the bottom of the mountain now to complete a loop. And we will develop another highway exit here probably next episode as we come to build this area. I'm thinking someone mentioned a college town, so hypothetically I can't even pick the thing up, can I? But we can't even afford it. That's because we don't have the college node. It's only one. Let's grab it right now. And then to have a look at it. Yeah, this one here, thinking maybe cute college sat overlooking the bay. Quite nice. Quite similar maybe to is it Madison University? That's right on the waterfront, something like that. That might be quite nice. So probably get into that next episode, a little bit of college area over here because those education demands are climbing. Speaking of, we also need to do high school and elementary expansion again. So over here we can see we've got an empty commercial unit. Let's dezone you, as you are no longer needed. Get rid of that. And then I'm going to grab the extension wing for the high school. And can I place this here? I think so. Student capacity 100. That should give us the capacity. Yeah, let's push us slightly back into the green. And we now have one of those extension wings across the road. It is really cool, isn't it? What a great little quality life improvement that proved to be. Really nice there. So it's in perfect next to the commercial, doesn't it? And the little sort of well-trodden path we did last episode too. Very nice. Happy with that. And then in terms of the elementary expansion, I think we're going to delete the trees in the path here. And let's grab an extension wing. No snapping. And I just want you there. Oh, look at that for a sits and fits moment. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. Absolutely stunning. God, I love these new schools. Aren't they just beautiful? Look at that. Bit of a little cut through here, but now into the rest of the sports campus. That whole campus area has come together just tremendously well, hasn't it? Really, really happy with that. And that should push us slightly into the green with that one. We're back in the orange, so we could do with another one. Although I think that's going to have to come in the form of another school, because we are kind of running out of room around here now, aren't we? How are these bus stops doing on the marina, I wonder? I'd like to hope they're busy. It's like 2 people just got off there, wasn't it? Let's head to the other waterfront as well, see how they're getting on. Where are we? Where was the stop? Down here. Yeah, there's people using them. There's people using them. They're getting used, aren't they? It's good to really love this waterfront. Great, isn't it? really enjoying CS2 these days, everyone. But either way, we did this road to try and bring in some kind of police service because it appears the other ones are lacking behind a little bit. We do need slightly more money to place this one, but I'm thinking here. That seems like a pretty sensible spot for it there, doesn't it? Right on the road. So we'll place that during our time lapse and then detail up a little bit of a sort of police yard around it. But otherwise, I think we're in a good spot now for some detailing. Lots of texture work to do around here. Fountains and detailing to help bulk out our park and ride plaza. Detailing around the edge of it, and it may bring in the road maintenance depot. I guess we'll just see how much money we have. Either way, let's detail up a little highway side service station here, and then we'll be right back. Alright guys, let's have a little look around what's happened around Kokai's solid service station essentially. So I did decide to bring in the road maintenance depot just adjacent to our bus depot. We did need to get this place down. I'm not sure if it's a little dominant maybe for this sort of area, but we can always relocate it. Regardless, at least we now have some road maintenance depot. Over here we have our self-storage unit where it has a little access alleyway here with some decals. A little bit of light prop work just to indicate some kind of storage vibes over here. And a really nice repurposing of just generic industrial, isn't it? So satisfied a very small amount of industrial demand with some self-storage units over here. A little bit of fencing around there too where needed. And then we have a little path pattern that runs all the way around and back into the town here. Next to our bus station, we just expanded the decals, dropped in some advertising kind of out of home, street advertising, little kiosk here with a couple of tables outside, fountain with some benches, just pretty quintessential plaza detailing. Then also added the wide sidewalks on the edge of the bus road too, just to make it look a little bit more like a dedicated bus road, and you don't get cars parking on here either. And then more of that same design in there as well with some of those tree planter decals, which are very welcome, aren't they? I really like how this whole area came together. Super cute. And then some bush landings between our car parks. I have made all of these car parks free in a bid to say, you know, you can park your car here for free, just pay the bus fare into town. Doesn't seem to work. So maybe in probably a DLC, I imagine, isn't it? We'd probably get that new policy. Park and ride would be very good. I'll try and feed that back to Colossal Order because we do, of course, have a direct line with them. So maybe that's something we can implement in a future update, perhaps. I think it'd be really cool, wouldn't it? Just have our little cafe, which then spills back into the plaza we looked at a moment ago. And then we have all of our motels over here as well. And I really like how the whole service stop came together. It's pretty cute, isn't it? Nice way to satisfy some industrial and commercial in a little bit more of a creative configuration, isn't it? Really like it. Police station is on the corner, and then also drew across a little alleyway road here with some commercial and some one-sided parking. These are just the ploppable parkings from Dome. They're on Paradox mods. They're very cool. There's a number of them before you actually get to your regular parking. So I really like those. They came out really nicely, I think. We also did the same over this side as well, outside of the motels. So that was very nice indeed. Over here, did place down some of the new parks to try and fuse them together. It has become something of a homeless maze, just because of the homeless bug at the minute. I did download the mod, but it doesn't seem to really fix anything, so I'm not sure if I just don't have it configured correctly. But homeless are still very much present right across Kokai. Hopefully the first patch from Colossal getting back from holiday is going to fix that. But of course, we'll have to wait and see. Regardless, nice little parks here that just link through to the other side of the plaza. And then over here, we have a water tower in where I've done some little decal work here that actually leads up to the ladder, just to kind of indicate, you know, a bit of a well-trodden path again. Similar vibes we've done before with those decals. Really nice way of just integrating a little bit of service industry in there. And then besides that, that is pretty much it, but a nice little niche build. Let's also have a look at some of the buses here as well, if we can find one. There we go. Have a look how its line's doing. So not a huge amount of line usage on the white one, and a pretty similar amount of usage on the black one as well. Of course, as the town grows out and people find more excuses to use these buses, they will of course become a little bit busier. And the ones over by the beachfront we're getting some nice use as well, we saw earlier. So I really like how this works. So did I just see him turn down there? He did. We need to actually make sure we add the waypoint there so he follows the correct route. There we go. Cool. Yeah, so nice to have some buses in the city regardless. And we have a couple of platforms left spare on the bus hub back on the service station as well. So we'll definitely feed some lines over to the college town, which we'll work on next episode to start occupying this waterfront over here, I think, because college education is starting to rise up. So we'll probably look at a little college town build next episode maybe. But otherwise, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Massive shout out to all the patrons that support the channel, with a special roll call to Louis Adlam. If you'd like to get involved in that, there's podcasts, early access, and previews, and a lovely little community to be had over on the Patreon. So head over there and check it out if you wish. And there's also the instant gaming link down below as well. Don't forget to check that out. You'll find yourself a great deal that does help support the channel. Otherwise, a really creative way to satisfy some industrial and commercial demand here, while also giving our highway exits and interchanges a lot more personality, because I think we end up with so many of them and they can all look pretty similar and bland, but it's giving it a little bit of a dedicated service area here where you can bring in actual service assets, industry and commercial in many different configurations. There's tons of inspiration across Google Earth, stuff like this. And of course, we did manage to introduce a little bit of a cute park and ride system for the city as well. And we'll definitely have more of those bus hubs as we continue to grow out over the next few episodes. Otherwise, thank you so much for all support on CS1 and 2 on the channel. I'm glad you're enjoying all the content. And thank you for subscribing. We're very, very close to 100,000 now. It's actually making me scared a little bit. So thank you so much. But otherwise, I will shut up and leave it there. Let's thank you all so much again for watching. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.